Hello student, today we are going to start our fourth lecture of nuclear physics. Okay, now to start fourth lecture, we just make the summary of our previous lecture which is conducted on Zoom meeting. Now in that lecture, we studied the basic points of nuclear physics like nuclear mass, binding energy, packing fraction, binding fraction, as well as nuclear spin, magnetic dipole moment, magnetic quadrupole moment. Also, in that we studied how to find the radius of charge using electron scattering experiment. Okay. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to study radioactivity, alpha decay, disintegration energy of alpha decay, velocity of alpha decay. Now, our first point is that radioactivity. In 1896, in France, Perry and Marie Curie, along with Becquerel, found several spontaneous emissions from the nuclei of several materials. Later on, they termed this phenomenon as radioactivity. Means what? Perry and Marie Curie see that the spontaneous emission from the nuclei of several materials. What is spontaneous emission? The emission is occurred without giving any external energy. It is spontaneous process. Okay, and they term this phenomenon as radioactivity. Now, the spontaneous emission of energy as well as particle from the heavy nuclei is known as radioactivity. Means in this phenomenon of radioactivity, which actually which part is emitted or which part is emitted, in that energy as well as particles are emitted. Okay, in this phenomenon mass as well as charge on the nucleus is decreasing, hence it is known as radioactive decay. This process is governed by law of radioactivity, which is stated as rate of disintegration of radioactive material is directly proportional to the number of atoms of corresponding material present at that instant. Mathematical expression for this law is given by n of t equal to n0 e to the power minus lambda t, where lambda be the decay constant of respective material, n of t be the number of atoms present at particular instant of time, and n0 be the constant of integration gives number of atoms present at t is equal to 0. Now, the radioactivity is measured in several units, and these units are named due to the scientists Marie Curie and Becquerel. These units are given as follows. Now, first one is 1 Curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 decays per second, whereas second one is Becquerel is equal to 1 decay per second. Now, generally in laboratories, radioactivities are in the range of microcuries to millicuries. Means when the phenomenon is actually studied in the laboratory, the range of that radioactivity is in the form of, they found the radioactivity is in the form of microcuries and millicuries. Okay. Our second point is alpha decay. As we are familiar with the phenomenon of radioactivity, in which spontaneous emission of particle as well as energy from the nucleus of heavy nucleus. Okay, as we see in the earlier point that radioactivity is nothing but the spontaneous emission of particle as well as energy. Now, there are three types of emissions. Out of three types, particles are emitted via two ways, that is alpha decay and beta decay, whereas along with this particle there is a emission of there is a emission of energy in the form of gamma rays. Means what? There is a decay in the radioactivity in three forms, in which first two is decay with particle and third one is decay with the energy. Now, the radioactivity is nothing but basically the way to stability. As heavy nuclei have large number of nucleons, in order to achieve stability, nuclei throw out some particles and energy in the form of alpha and beta particle emissions and gamma energy emission. Means what? When the nucleus feels that it is unstable, means at that when it is become heavy, then it will be unstable. To achieve the stability, that nucleus or that atom emits the particles or emits the energy. Okay, means what? The radioactivity is basically the way of stability. Okay, nature of alpha particle is like the helium nucleus, as it consists of two proton and two neutron. It means that during alpha decay there is emission of two proton and two neutron from the nucleus of heavy material. If one alpha particle is emitted, then atomic number of nucleus is reduced by 2, whereas mass number is decreased by 4. Means what? The alpha particle is nothing but the helium helium nucleus. Okay, means what? When the alpha particle is emitted from that nucleus, then what happen? The mass number is decreased by 4, whereas atomic number is decreased by 2, because helium atom have 4 is mass number and 2 is its atomic number. It is due to the fact that during each alpha emission, plus 5.41 mega electron volt energy release along with 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Means what? When there is emission of alpha particle, that is when that alpha particle release along with 2 proton and 2 neutron, then there is a emission of plus 5.41 mega electron volt energy. Understand? Now the continuous from the previous slide. This decay process can be expressed in the nuclear reaction as follows. As I discussed in the previous slide, that when alpha particle is emitted from the nucleus, there is a mass number decreased by 4, whereas atomic number decreased by 2, and that concept we just mathematically can written here in the form of reaction. See here in journal XZA, when from this atomic nuclei the alpha particle is emitted, then what is our new daughter element? That will be decreased with 4 mass, that is mass number is decreased with 4 and atomic number is decreased with 2. This means that it is one of the way to achieve stability. Through this process, mass number as well as atomic mass number both decrease and heavy nucleus tends to lighter one. This process continue till stability achieved. Now our next point is velocity of alpha particle. We know that the alpha particles are emitted with very high velocity from the radioactive substance. Velocity of alpha particle is 1.92 into 10 to the power 7 meter per second, which is about 1/16 the velocity of light. Means what? The 1/16 of 3 into 10 to the power 8, which will give the value of velocity of alpha particle, which is nothing but 1.92 into 10 to the power 7. Understand? Now, in order to measure the velocity alpha particle, magnetic spectrometer is designed by S. Rosselbun. In this instrument, a very thin wire on which the radioactive substance is deposited is used as source of alpha particle, and emitted alpha particle are collimated by the slit. This beam is subjected to the uniform magnetic field. Due to this field, alpha particles are moved along semicircular path and are focused at one point on the plate for a given energy. Means what? Here, to study the velocity of alpha particle, S. Rosselbun designed the special magnetic spectrometer, in which what happened or how he arranged the instrument, in that he kept at one side alpha source. Okay, and from that alpha source, when alpha particles is emitted, that alpha particle is suddenly collimated by the slits, and due to of that slits, that particle is collimated or towards the our photographic plate. Means what? Due to of that slits, the particle is collimated and it goes toward the photographic plate. And due to there is a presence of uniform magnetic field, what happen? The alpha particles follows the semicircular path. Okay, due to the presence of magnetic field. Now, see from the continue from previous side, let B be the magnetic field and V be the velocity and R be the radius of semicircular path. Centripetal force required for this motion is provided by force acting on alpha particle and is given by BQV is equal to mv square by R. Means what? When that alpha particle is emitted and that alpha particles is collimated by the slits and gives toward the photographic plate, but due to of the uniform magnetic field, what happens? That particles follows the semicircular path, and due to that semicircular path, actually when that semicircular path is followed by the particle, then there is a balancing of magnetic field as well as centripetal force. Means from the above equation, we can determine the velocity of alpha particle, which can be written as V is equal to BQR divided by M. By using above formula, we can obtain the velocity of alpha particle. Okay, understand everyone? Now, our next point is disintegration energy of alpha particle. Now, when the alpha particle is emitted, it has got certain velocity as discussed earlier. In fact, there are two velocity. First velocity of alpha particle, and after emission of alpha particle, daughter nucleus is also move with certain velocity and is termed as recoil velocity. Means what? As we see earlier, when there is a emission of alpha particle, that alpha particle should be emitted with certain velocity, and that velocity can be studied by using the our previous lecture, means our previous slide. Means what? By using that spectrometer, we can easily find the velocity of alpha particle. Now, but there is a two velocity. When alpha particle is emitted, there is a two velocity. First one is the velocity of that alpha particle, and second one is that when that alpha particle is emitted from that nucleus, there is a daughter nucleus with mass number is decreased by 4 and atomic number is decreased by 2. That daughter nucleus is also move with certain velocity, and its velocity is termed as recoil velocity. Okay. Now, the disintegration energy is nothing but sum of kinetic energy of alpha particle and recoil kinetic energy of daughter nucleus. Energy equation is given as E disintegration is equal to E alpha plus E recoil, where E alpha is what? 1/2 m alpha V alpha square plus E recoil is nothing but 1/2 mn V recoil square. What is mn? Nucleus. Okay, new nucleus. What is our new daughter nucleus? Okay. From this principle of conservation momentum, we can write m alpha V alpha is equal to mn V recoil. By using above one, we can easily return above equation as E disintegration energy is equal to 1/2 m alpha V alpha square in bracket 1 plus m alpha mn. Okay. Means in first equation, we just put V recoil's value from the second equation. Means what? V recoil is equal to m alpha V alpha divided by m. We just the value of V recoil in the above equation, and we got the equation of E disintegration. Now, using above equation, we can obtain the disintegration energy. Most of alpha particle have kinetic energy of 6.086 mega electron volt, corresponding to disintegration energy of 6.203 mega electron volt. Understand everyone? Now, our next point is range energy relationship. Now, when alpha particle thrown out by the radioactive nucleus, it travels with a high velocity as we discussed earlier. During journey, it interact with matter particle, electrons. Means what? When that alpha particle is emitted from that radioactive nucleus, it is in contact with the electrons. Means what? There is an interaction is in from collision form. Okay. As a result, alpha particle loses its energy after traveling certain distance. This distance is known as range of alpha particle. Okay, understand everyone? Means what? When that alpha particle thrown out by radioactive nucleus, then it it is in contact with the electron, or it is interact with the electron, and there is a collision between electron and that alpha particle. Due to of that, what happen, the energy of alpha particle should be loses, and the range, and after some traveling some distance, the energy of the alpha particle is completely loses, and this range is called, or this distance is called range of alpha particle. This range depends on nature of particle, nature of interacting matter, and density of interacting matter. Means what? The range of that alpha particle is depends on how many number of electrons present and in that radioactive nucleus. Now theoretically, relationship between range and energy can be obtained by using quantum mechanical calculation of collision process, and it is given as below equation. Now in the above equation, what is V? V is equal to beta C, and is nothing but the velocity of alpha particle. Capital Z, capital A and rho are nothing but the atomic number, atomic weight and density of stopping material. And I represent the mean excitation energy of atomic electrons. Range can be obtained by using above relation as follows. Range R is equal to integration from t to 0 minus dE by dx raised to minus 1 dE. Okay, this is formula to find the range of that alpha particle. Above equation can be modified for the function which is independent of charge and mass and depend on velocity of particle, given by R is equal to mz square mz raised to minus 2 integration f of v dv. Above expression indicates the relationship between range and energy of alpha particle. From solving above equation, we can found that R is equal to 9.6 into 10 to the power 24, and in bracket E divided by 2.08 into 10 to the power minus 14 raised to 3 by 2 is another one relation between energy and range of alpha particle. Now our last topic is Geiger-Newton law. Now in 1911, Geiger and Newton found that there is a relationship between half-life of alpha emitter and range of alpha particle. Okay, now everyone knows that what is alpha, what is half-life of that radioactive nuclei. Half-life of nuclei is nothing but just time taken by the radioactive element to become its original value. Okay, means what? And there is a range, there is a relation between half-life of alpha emitter and range of alpha particle. Now as we see in the earlier slide, what is the range? When the alpha particle loses its energy at some distance, and that distance is nothing but the range of alpha particle. They show that if the logarithm of range in air of the alpha particle is plotted against the corresponding value of the logarithm of disintegration, means what? In the x-axis there is a log of range, and on the y-axis there is a log of disintegration. Alpha particle is plotted against the corresponding value of logarithm of the disintegration constant for a number of radioactive element, an approximately straight line is found. This is known as Geiger-Newton law. Means what? When we plot the graph of these two things, we saw that there is a straight line. And this is nothing but the law of Geiger-Newton. Now it can be mathematically expressed as log E lambda is equal to A log E R plus B, where A and B are the constant. By using range energy relationship, we can modify above expression as log E lambda is equal to 3 by 2 A log E B plus log E plus B star, where B star be the constant for each radioactive series. Understand everyone? Means what? Geiger-Newton law is nothing but when we plotted the log of range and log of disintegration, there is a straight line on graph, and this is called as Geiger-Newton law. Okay student, that is our fourth lecture is completed.